What if the Ottoman reforms had succeeded? A world that could have been. Imagine a world where the Ottoman Empire didn't collapse under the weight of internal chaos and foreign intervention. Instead, picture an empire that successfully modernized, where Istanbul stands today not just as a historical relic but as a rival to London, Tokyo, or New York. What if the empire had become a beacon of reform, coexistence, and modernization? This isn't just a historical fantasy, it's an alternate path history could have taken. The sick man of Europe. By the early 19th century, the Ottoman Empire had become a shadow of its former self. Once a dominant global power, it now faced military defeats, economic stagnation, administrative inefficiency, and the rising tide of nationalism across its vast territories. European powers began referring to the empire as the sick man of Europe, a once mighty state in terminal decline. But decline was not inevitable. The Ottomans tried to fight back, not with weapons, but with reforms. The Tanzimat era and the hope for revival. Beginning in 1839, the Tanzimat, reorganization, reforms marked a major attempt to modernize the empire along European lines. These reforms were ambitious, progressive, and unprecedented for the Islamic world at the time. They aimed to strengthen the state by modernizing the military, reforming tax systems, codifying secular laws, and, most importantly, granting equal civil rights to all subjects regardless of religion or ethnicity. Key changes included the Hat-i Serif of Gulhane, a royal decree guaranteeing life, property, and honor to all citizens. The abolition of tax farming and the introduction of a fair taxation system. Establishment of secular courts and legal equality between Muslims, Christians, and Jews. The creation of modern schools, ministries, and a postal system. Early steps toward a constitutional monarchy with the first Ottoman constitution in 1876. These reforms were not only administrative, they were ideological. They represented a radical departure from centuries of religiously defined social structure. The resistance to reform. Despite their promise, these reforms faced immense resistance. Conservative elements within the empire, religious scholars, provincial notables, and even some military leaders, saw them as a threat to tradition. Ethnic minorities often didn't trust the central government, fearing assimilation or betrayal. European powers also interfered, backing different factions to weaken Ottoman control. The reformist momentum was often slowed, reversed, or manipulated. Had these internal and external pressures been neutralized, the Ottomans might have charted a drastically different course. A reformed Ottoman Empire, the alternate timeline. Let's imagine the reforms had succeeded, not partially, but fully. The Ottoman Empire transitions into a constitutional monarchy. The Tanzimat reforms evolve into a stable political system, backed by strong institutions and wide public support. The empire embraces pluralism and federalism, giving autonomy to different ethnic and religious groups while maintaining central unity. What changes in this world? The Balkans stay Ottoman. Instead of violent secessionist wars, the Balkans are integrated into a federated Ottoman system, with local self-rule and shared prosperity. The Arab provinces modernize, regions like Syria, Iraq, and the Hijaz benefit from infrastructure, education, and industrial investment, remaining integral parts of the empire. Istanbul becomes a global capital, the city becomes a hub for diplomacy, finance, and multiculturalism, rivaling Paris and Vienna. Ottoman identity evolves, a new civic identity emerges, rooted not in ethnicity or religion but in shared institutions and rights. Science, arts, and industry flourish, universities, research institutions, and literary movements thrive across the empire, especially in cities like Cairo, Damascus, Beirut, and Salonika. World War I reimagined. In this alternate history, the Ottoman Empire is no longer the weak link of the early 20th century. It either stays neutral during World War I or acts as a balancing power between rival European blocs. Without Ottoman collapse. There is no Sykes-Picot agreement to divide the Middle East. There is no British mandate in Palestine. Zionism and Arab nationalism evolve under a pluralistic state framework. The Armenian population is integrated and represented, avoiding the tragic genocide that occurred in our timeline. The post-war world is unrecognizable. The Middle East remains united and powerful, a major player in global politics. The modern Ottoman world. Fast forward to 2025 in this alternate reality. The Middle East is a superpower, not a fragmented region. A federated Ottoman state stretches from the Balkans to Arabia. The Suez Canal and Persian Gulf are under Ottoman administration, making it a global trade giant. Oil wealth is distributed equitably and invested in sustainable development, technology, and education. Palestinians and Jews coexist in a multi-ethnic province under Ottoman law. No Syria war. No Iraq war. No ISIS. Stability, while not perfect, is the norm. Religious pluralism is the rule. Women have legal rights. Turkish, Arabic, Kurdish, Armenian, and Greek are official languages of different regions. The Ottoman Empire becomes a case study in successful post-imperial modernization. Lessons from a lost opportunity. This vision may seem utopian, but it serves a purpose. History doesn't happen in a straight line. The fall of the Ottoman Empire was not inevitable, it was the result of failed reforms, foreign manipulation, and internal resistance. The lesson is simple: empires that fail to reform perish. But when reform is inclusive, courageous, and sustained, it can change the course of history. Closing thoughts. The story of the Ottoman Empire is not just about what was. It's also about what could have been. As we look at our fractured modern world, perhaps we can learn something from this alternate past, a past where coexistence, not conflict, defined one of history's greatest empires. What do you think the world would look like if the Ottoman reforms had succeeded? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more alternate history deep dives.